Ready? Play.
Khachanov
Oh,
Paul.
Karen, Karen versus Paul. Wow, they haven't played in forever.
Obviously, we literally just watched Tommy Paul beat João Fonseca, and that was a absolutely huge result for Paul. I feel like Fonseca kind of had a small edge going into that match, and for Paul to come out on top, it's such a big boost of confidence for him. They've only ever played once, and that was in Miami in 22, so that was 3 years ago, where Paul won in three in a third set breaker. I kind of like Tommy Paul in this one now. I feel as though I've always thought this with Karen, that when he's at his best, he's like so good, like nearly like unplayable when he's at his best. The forehand is like ridiculous, and the backhand's super solid. Movement's great. Slice is even really good. It keeps it really, really flat. It's like a dart. But then he just all of a sudden like is kind of like Paul in a sense that he flicks a switch and it kind of like disappears for like 4 games, and then he suddenly finds himself 4-1 down in the second set. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of it's going to be interesting. Paul's obviously athleticism plays a huge part, and maybe that's Karen's undoing. I kind of expect Karen to just sit on from the baseline and just pummel forehands each way, and I kind of feel like it might play out in a similar fashion to how this match literally just planned out. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to Paul again. Not again, but I'm gonna give it to Paul. I'm gonna go Paul in two. Actually, I'll go like two tight sets, 6 and 4.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree in terms of the reflection of Karen. Kind of, it's like, is he going to overhit, especially off the forehand wing? And you talked about how like Karen can be so difficult to play against and just so annoying because of how consistent he is and how much firepower he possesses. But we just haven't seen that level from him, and just it feels like a while.
Yeah,
Uh, and I think it's been since like the Asian swing where he's been like really playing some good tennis. That's a while. That's a while. But
yeah,
especially on this surface, I mean, altitude is obviously good. He's a big server, but he hits a very flat backhand. This is high bouncing clay, so that's not going to do as much damage. And I think this will play into Tommy's hands well in terms of scrambling into points and getting Karen in kind of like difficult positions because
yeah.
as we talked about,
Awkward
he's just
positions.
very
Yeah,
he's very technically sound, but he's very, I guess, like straight up, very baseline
yeah,
heavy and doesn't really use too much variety. You essentially know what you're going to get. I think about
yeah.
like Rublev too. You just know what you're going to get from him. And
Kachanov, Khachanov and Rublev are very similar in the way you just know immediately what's going to happen when they stroll onto court. They
right,
are going to absolutely hammer the ball to
yeah,
all ends of the court. And I feel like clay is maybe a surface that is maybe the easiest surface to overhit on, in a sense, especially when your opponent's sliding around at the back of the court. If you're playing someone that is like a big, like, scrambler, like Arnaldi, because we were talking about him earlier and he's just popped into my head, or even like Carlos Baena, or someone like that, like a big, or Mute. I don't know, but big scrambler. Like I feel like he can overhit a lot, and and I feel like Paul can be. He isn't as big of a scrambler because he has such good weapons off the ground as well. But when you put it all together for Tommy, it really should bode well for him in this matchup. So
yeah.
yeah,
It's definitely interesting they haven't played since 22. I
yeah,
mean,
absolutely. I mean, two guys right at the top of the tour haven't played in 3 years. I mean,
right,
it's
right.
pretty.
So I think that just leaves this matchup maybe just more up for question or debate because it might take a little bit of time for them to at least get a feel
Feel each other
for
out.
one
Yeah,
another. Yeah. So I'm with you though. I do like Tommy Pollen too. You know, locked in, seems focused, and that was a big win today. So
Absolutely. And I feel like it's going to just give him that boost. Obviously, he hasn't had great results in Madrid in the past, always favoured Rome, made the semis there last year. But, you know, this is a very good, bodes well for Paul.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.